as well as I am on YouTube. Okay, I hope that you guys are doing good today. Happy Monday. If you see me looking over here, I'm looking at YouTube. If you see me looking over here, I'm looking at TikTok. Okay, I'm not on both platforms. All right, I hope that you guys are doing good. Today we're talking about how to prevent fibroids from reoccurring. Okay, important topic. Some of you guys have had surgery, or you've been able to successfully get rid of your fibroids, or you've had some type of procedure to get rid of your fibroids. So whether you have fibroids currently or had them in the past, you're going to definitely want to stay tuned, because it's really important to understand how to prevent fibroids from reoccurring, whether you have them right now or not. So even if you have fibroids, you're still going to gain a lot from this conversation. Okay. Thank you so much for the likes. Yes, tap on the screen, like the video if you haven't already, as you're coming in, so that we can get more women on here. Okay, you guys see the topic over here. If you're watching from TikTok, then you see the topic up here. And of course, you see the topic if you're watching from YouTube. If you're watching from YouTube, be sure to click the thumbs up button as well. All right, so let's get started. For those of you watching me for the first time, I would like to know, let me know. Put a 1 in the chat if you're here, okay? If you're like, okay, who is this lady? If you're watching me for the first time, if you're here, if you're new, I would love to know. I know TikTok always pushes my content out to new people. Even YouTube does as well. So I love that, all right? So I had a really busy day, but I wanted to definitely end the night with this live, okay? Because I think this is a really important topic. If you're watching from YouTube, hi, welcome. Don't be shy. All right, feel free to comment. Put a 1 in the chat if you are watching me for the first time. For those that are new, my name is Sasha. I am a holistic womb specialist, and what I do is I help women who have fibroids. I partner with women to help them dissolve their fibroids, not just shrink their fibroids, dissolve their fibroids. Okay, that's really important. All right, by targeting the root causes of why the fibroids developed. And I don't just help women that have fibroids. I also help women who have endometriosis, adenomyosis, ovarian cysts, PCOS, or perimenopausal symptoms, hormonal issues, uterine prolapse, okay? Issues concerning the womb and the hormones, okay? And I love what I do because I put the power back into women's hands when it comes to their own health and their own healing, which is so important because a lot of times women feel helpless when they're suffering from these issues, okay? Not understanding that they have more power than they think. You have the power to heal yourself. You have the power to get to the root cause of the problem, to no longer have to go through these issues. And it's important for you to be empowered and to understand and to know that. But first, you got to understand how your body works, okay? You're new here, okay? Well, you have fibroids. Oh, Hema, okay? Welcome, welcome, welcome. Thank you so much for being here. If you are watching from YouTube, be sure to click the thumbs up button as well. You're new here. Hi, Luann. Hopefully I'm saying that right. I hope that you're new here. You're also suffering with fibroids. I would love to know where you guys are watching from. You say you're afraid of your fibroids. You're new here too. Welcome, Spirit Child. Happy that you're here. I'm new. I want to be free from fibroids. Okay, great. So happy to have you here. You guys are in the right place, okay? You guys are in the right place, okay? Welcome. Hi, Journey with Jay. Hi. Welcome, welcome, welcome. Hope that you're doing good. Okay, so we're going to talk about how do we prevent fibroids from reoccurring. Put a 1 in the chat. Let me know if you have experienced surgery and you've had fibroids reoccur. Whether it's surgery, whether it's uterine embolization, fibroid embolization, whatever, and you've noticed that your fibroids have reoccurred. If you've realized that, let me know. You're watching from Guyana. Welcome. Okay. Hey, Guyana. Yes, you guys, let me know where you guys are watching from. You're from Jamaica, but living in California. Okay, I love that. Watching from New York. Welcome, welcome. Ooh, I heard you guys got really bad snow. Our snow wasn't as bad this time. Thank God. Thank God. So hopefully you guys are staying safe out there in New York, okay? But yes, okay, let's go. Florida. Okay, nice. Okay, welcome, ladies. It's bad. Yeah, I saw some pictures. I said, oh my God. We got bad snow a month ago, but this one was just like a little something, you know, a little something. A blizzard. Yeah, I saw the streets. I was like, whoa. Blizzard part 2. I don't know what's going on in 2026, but it's something crazy, okay? I had fibroids and you're considering surgery. Okay, Monica, you're in the right place. And after watching this video, you may not be considering surgery anymore, okay? And the reasons why, and I'm also going to be answering you guys' questions. The reasons why is because you have to understand that when your body develops fibroids, they're root causes. There's a reason why your body developed fibroids. It did not develop fibroids out of nowhere. You see me looking over here. I'm looking at YouTube as well. Hi, YouTube. And don't be shy, YouTube. Your body did not develop fibroids out of nowhere. Your body did not develop. There's reasons why your body developed fibroids. It's important. And I actually, for those of you that are been following me, we're doing our 5-day live course this week, so I'm really excited. And today we talked about healing your hormones. And you have to understand, when you have fibroids, not only are your hormones out of balance, that's number one, you're dealing with multiple systemic imbalances in the body. You're dealing with the lymphatic system being congested. You're dealing with your gut health being backed up, your gut being backed up, the colon being backed up, the elimination organs being backed up and overloaded with waste. So you know how your body has a way. Thank you for the gift. Thank you so much, Zen Yen, for the gift. You know how your body is made to, it has its own detoxification channels. But unfortunately, when we are dealing with fibroids, things are backed up in the body, right? Your body is not detoxifying waste like it's supposed to, and this causes us to be recirculate there to be a recirculation of waste and toxins in the body, causing all of these issues, causing your body to be imbalanced, causing all of this toxicity going on in the body, therefore causing fibroid growth and so many other issues. Okay, so you have to understand, it's important that you have to get to the root cause of what's going on with your body. Okay, when you're on treatment, how do you know that they're dissolving? What is treatment? Because we don't do treatment over here, we do healing. Because a treatment is medication, right? More than likely is how the medical system approaches things, and that's not healing your body. Okay, so treatment doesn't heal. Treatment is temporary, right? You want to get to the root. Okay, you're so welcome, Zanyan. Thank you. I appreciate that. Okay, so we want to talk about how to prevent, and you guys can ask questions as well, how to prevent fibroids from reoccurring. First and foremost, let me say this: is it food-based, like for causes? That's one of them. Yeah, of course, it makes things worse. Of course, you guys know nutrition is key, but it's not the only thing. Now, when we talk about fibroids reoccurring, first and foremost, learning why, preventing fibroids reoccurring, you have to understand why the fibroids developed in the first place. A lot of women don't get that. So when they are on the process of getting rid of fibroids, right? They only, when they have fibroids, they only think about, how do I get rid of fibroids? But they never think about, how do these fibroids develop? Why did I develop fibroids? Because this is how you really get rid of the problem. You have to get into the root cause of the problem, understanding why. So you have to start understanding the cues your body gives you. Because that's first and foremost, before we even, because you can't just be blind to how your body works and think you're going to be successful in getting rid of fibroids. And this is where a lot of women make the mistake. So before you actually were diagnosed with fibroids, your body was showing you signs. Put in one in the chat. It could have been your gut health. It could have been bloating. It could have been your periods were heavy. It could have been clots. It could have been painful periods. There's so many things that it could have been, right? It could have been low energy, anemic, and feeling anemia, right? There's so many different symptoms that your body could have been showing you, right? Put in one in the chat if you recognize your body was showing you signs before the fibroids developed. Okay, for majority of women, they'll see it in their period, right? Their periods will be heavier. They will experience painful periods. They will experience bleeding more than 4 to 5 days, even longer, right? The things that you've been taught that were normal, which are not, a lot of times they're your body showing you hormonal imbalances, right? So we associate bloating, that's normal. We think that breast tenderness is normal. All of these things are imbalances in the body, and our body's showing us. So you have to start to understand the cues your body shows you. Your body speaks to you through symptoms, and you have to be aware of that. Okay, so as your body is healing, like, you have to start looking at your period, start tracking your period, right? How many days does it last, y'all? How many days does it take to come? Does it come every 27 days, every 28 days, every 29 days? Or is it all over the place, right? That's the problem. That means we're imbalanced. We're imbalanced. Do you experience, what are the symptoms you experience before your period comes? Or do you experience symptoms before your period even comes, right? Start learning your body. Also, too, how heavy do you bleed? If you bleed so much that You have to use heavier pads. If you bleed so much that you cannot leave the house during certain days, none of that is normal. If you have pain during your period, none of that is normal. That's associated with toxicity in the body. That's associated with hormone imbalance. That's associated with estrogen dominance. So it's important that you learn the cues that your body gives. And as you're healing your body, as you're shrinking and dissolving your fibroids, you're going to notice that your periods are much better, much easier. I'm telling you, as somebody that used to suffer every month, like since I got my first period, literally, my hormones been out of balance. And a lot of you guys, it's the same thing. Your hormones have been out of balance for years. And how do you know you've been dealing with estrogen dominance for a long time? And is if you got your period early, 8, 9, 10, 11, hell, even 12. Before, that wasn't the norm. Do you know that? That wasn't the norm before, okay? So it's important that you understand what's normal and what's not, because a lot of times in our modern society, we will take sickness as being normal, okay? So you've had a myomectomy. Okay, good. I'm not good that you had surgery, but good that you are here, because I say this to say women tend to have multiple myomectomies because the fibroids don't get to the root cause of the problem, okay? So if you are repeating the same thing over and over again in the comment section, I'm gonna have to mute you. So just be careful. We don't play that over here, okay? So it's important that you know and understand that, okay? So if you have, put a 1 in the chat if you've had a myomectomy. And I think I said that earlier. Put a 1 in the chat if you've had a myomectomy. Or a uterine fibroid embolization, okay? Okay, so we have some ones, okay. So it's important. So if you've had a myomectomy, let's say the fibroids haven't grown back yet, then you want to be sure to get to the root cause of the problem. No, I haven't, but I was told I need a hysterectomy. Nobody needs a hysterectomy. You've had both. Okay. Thank you for being here. Thank you guys for being here. So, and being transparent. You've considered UFE. Okay. So, if you've already had these procedures, ladies, if you've already had these procedures, you still have to do the same work as somebody that has fibroids. You know why? Because your hormones are still out of balance. If you haven't gotten to the root cause of the problem, they will regrow. For some people, somebody said yesterday it took them just a few weeks to regrow a new fibroid. Some people may take a couple of years. Some people may take a year. Some people will take a couple months, right? But you have to still do the work. You can't just, okay, I had surgery or I had a UFE procedure and go on your jolly way and think that you're good. No, that's not how it works. This is how women fall into having multiple surgeries, okay? So it's important that you know and understand that. I did a video recently. If you're on my YouTube, if you're not on my YouTube, you need to be on my YouTube channel, okay? You need to be subscribed to my YouTube channel. I did a video not too long ago on my live stream section, how I eliminated an 8-centimeter fibroid, okay? And I told you guys, had surgery, the fibroids grew back. Like, it's important that you know. Hey, no, I haven't. They recently told me that they think a myomectomy, and I said, no, I'm praying instead. Prayer without works, doesn't work. Okay, I'm gonna just say that. So it's because I say that because I've heard that thing when it comes to fibroids. I hear that a lot. I'm praying. I'm like, oh, what are you doing though? What are you actively doing, right? So yours is 8, 9 centimeters. Yeah. Okay, good. Taking that holistic approach, as long as you're actually doing the work as well. Okay, because it takes more than prayer. So you have multiple fibroids. Okay, you can get rid of a lot. You can get rid of a 9 centimeter fibroid, but you have to get to the root of why your body developed fibroid. And for ladies that already had this surgery, you still have to get to the root. UFE is you're going to grow it back. Myomectomy, you're going to grow it back, and a lot of women have experienced that already. Some of you guys in the chat and on the live stream may have already experienced that. Okay, so if you're dealing with fibroids, your body's in a state of stress. If you're dealing with fibroids, your body's inflamed. Your lymphatic system is congested, right? So we have to understand that fibroids is not just a uterine problem. It's a full body issue. Your body's not dispelling waste the way it's supposed to. So it's important that you know that and understand that, right? They put me on medicine that stops my period. Ooh, no, get off of that. Bella, are you in the US? Because I know in other countries they tend to do that. Third world countries, they tend to do that a lot, unfortunately. But if they're doing that in the US, stop immediately. Okay? Please stop. Get off that stuff. That's messing up your hormones. Why would they put you on medication that stops your period? Okay, so let's talk about, okay, dairy-free and gluten-free diet helps so much. Yeah, that's yeah, definitely. Those two are definitely corporates for fibroids. Yeah, I heard that too. I will grow back even in those treatments. Yeah, of course. Because it's not about treatments. It's about you actually getting to the root cause of the problem and doing the and changing your lifestyle, changing your diet. Treatments are temporary, are just, it's just like, it's the what is it's temporary. It doesn't actually get to the root cause of the problem. It just treats the symptoms. But the problem is still there. Okay? So that's one thing you have to understand. You have to understand that fibroids is a full body issue. It's a full, let me say it again. Fibroids is a full body issue. Fibroids is a full body issue. So if I have fibroids, it's not just my uterus. It's deeper than that. It's my lymphatic system. It's even when you have fibroids, even too, women that have fibroids, they're more likely to have heart problems as well. Like, this goes deep. It's not just because, again, your organs are overloaded. And that's going to put strain on the things like the heart and, there's less oxygen flow going through your body. It's more congestion going through, like, going on in your body, right? Circulation circulate your body. The circulation is lowered when you have fibroids. So it's important that you know, yes, you lose nutrients, iron levels being one. Okay, stress. I have to tell myself to breathe. Yes, stress is a huge culprit of fibroids. Huge. You have to, because if you have fibroids, your body's in a state of stress. Your body cannot heal when it's stressed. Your body can't even not detoxify properly when it's stressed. Your body can't heal when it's stressed. Your body can't regenerate or repair when it's stressed. Okay? My sis had that, trying to share the live. Thank you for sharing the live. That's what's going on with me. Heart issues now. Yeah, when I had fibroids, I was also dealing with heart issues. Heart palpitations. My blood pressure was higher than it was supposed to. Yeah. This is why when you're doing the work, when you're healing your womb, you're healing your body. Let me say that again. When you're healing your womb, you're healing the body. Absolutely not. Birth control, that's not doing the opposite. That's destroying your health. Absolutely not. Okay. She has everything you said. I want her to heal. Okay. Okay, good. How long has it been since you had fibroids? It's been like almost 15 years. I thank God for my surgery. You say, okay, it's easy to say that, but then when they grow back, then what? Then what? Okay, then what? Okay, we're gonna get to that. We're gonna get to that. Okay. I have a whole video on that, Lexi, how I eliminated my asymmetric fibroids. I have a whole YouTube video on that. Be sure to look at the live stream section. Be sure to subscribe to my YouTube channel. My sisters grew back. I don't understand when people are still pushing surgery when we know that fibroids grow back after surgery, when the root cause is not addressed. It's important that you understand that. So you can think, when we're thanking God for our surgery, we're just thanking God for temporary relief. We're not like, who wants to just go through temporary relief when they can heal? It doesn't make any sense. So when you have fibroids, and so we talked about understanding the cues. We talked about understanding the cues your body gives you, right? Through your period, through your day-to-day, through your energy levels, understanding your body on a deeper level, right? Then also too, let me say this as well. We're going to talk about addressing emotional trauma, but I also want to talk about your diet very briefly, okay? Because we're covering this in the 5-day live course right now, tomorrow, actually. So FYI, if you haven't heard about our 5-day live course, I'm actually covering all of this stuff in detail and going all the way through it and helping them get rid of their fibroids. That's what the purpose of the 5-day live course is, FYI. So if you want to be on a Zoom with me, I'm actually answering questions, where I'm actually helping you shrink and dissolve your fibroids, join our Fibroid Light course. We had day 1 today. I had day 1 a few hours ago. It was so good. Sending the replays out tonight. If you join, you still get the replay from day 1. And then also too, you have access to the Zoom link all the rest of the days. Okay. We're going from Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, and Friday. It's a 5-day live course. So diet, you have to eat a hydrating diet. The reason I say hydrating is because if you have fibroids, what you have to realize is that you're dehydrated on a cellular level. Okay, this is why we have so many nutrient deficiencies. This is why, again, and a lot of people don't know. Majority of people don't even know that they're dehydrated. 77% of the population is dehydrated in the US and doesn't even realize it, doesn't even know it. Okay? So it's important that you understand. So what does that mean? You're eating foods that are dehydrating you, sugar, alcohol, coffee, or drinking things as well. That's dehydrating you. You want to eat more foods that have water content. Okay? And also increase your water intake as well. Because if you are filled with toxins, if everything's congested and overloaded, because that's what's going on when you have fibroids, then how is your body going to flush out toxins? How is your body going to heal when when you're not flushing it out? Okay, that's another thing too. So that's how you also to prevent it. And I'm going to answer some questions. Anti-inflammatory diet. I've been cooking more and more and taking vitamins. Okay. And how do you dissolve a fibroid? I talk about that in the 5-day live course this week that we're having this week, Fix Fibroids in 2026. We go all the way through that. Okay. So if you actually want to know how to shrink, exactly what to do to shrink and dissolve your fibroids, I'm teaching that all week long in the 5-day live course. More information the link is in my bio if you want to register for that. Okay. I've had them for 30 years, just had surgery to remove one. Oh my God, I'm so sorry. 30 years is wow. Wow. And I'm so sorry that you've been dealing with that. I wish you would have found me beforehand. You have to realize that fibroids, they grow back when you don't get to the root cause of the problem. Okay? For those of you that's had surgery, ladies, they grow back. So this is what we're talking about now, how to prevent them from growing back. Understanding why your body developed the fibroid. This goes into understanding the cues your body gives you. You have to understand why your body developed the fibroid. You have to go back. Okay, I'm gonna give you a little bit of story about me. This will help you guys out. The reasons why I developed fibroids. Because of the emotional trauma I was holding on to. Because of my diet and lifestyle habits. Because I was under stress all the time. I was in stressful relationships. I had no boundaries. I allowed people to treat me any type of way, right? I was in situations where I was dealing with lots of stress and anxiety. And these are things that I did to myself. Even it took me, years to realize that, because a lot of times we like to play the victim, right? So when you're holding on to emotional trauma, when you live in a stressful lifestyle, when you are in a career that you hate or a job that you hate, right? Or just maybe you may not hate your job per se or your career, but you may hate your work environment, right? That may cause you stress and you don't do anything about it. That accumulates. Stress is extremely destructive to your body. It's extremely destructive to your womb health, your reproductive health, to your hormones. It's endometrioma. I think you mean endometrioma cyst, classified as fibroids. No, an endometrioma cyst is a cover. It's like a chocolate cyst. It's blood-filled cyst. It's not the same as a fibroid. Okay. I've been dealing with fibroids for the last 5 years, and I'm in perimenopause. Yeah, it's a chocolate cyst. What a question mark. What about it? I'm considering surgery. I want them gone. My uterus is filled with fibroids. So let me say this, and I have fibroids and adenomyosis, and I said this in my live stream 2 days ago, I think. I always say this, actually. I just scroll back and listen in, so happy this conversation is being had. Yes! Happy that you're here. If you have developed a fibroid, if your body developed a fibroid, a large fibroid or multiple fibroids, y'all that have multiple fibroids and fibroids that are bigger than, I would say, let's say 5 centimeters, listen to me and listen to me well, because these are typically the women that want to have surgery the most. If you develop a large fibroid or multiple fibroids, your body is prone to fibroids. What does that mean? That means that when you get that surgery, it's going to grow back. It's going to grow back, and a lot of times very quickly, soon, if you have a large or multiple fibroids. So I say all that to say, as somebody that's experienced that, the last thing you want to do is surgery, because the reason why you want to have surgery is because you're looking for relief. You're looking for a temporary relief, and I get that. That happened to me. Yeah, exactly. See, that happened to me. Exactly. You're looking for a temporary relief, but you're not thinking long term. You're not thinking about the health of your body. You're looking at just the fibroid. The fibroid's the problem. The fibroid's the problem. The fibroid's the problem. The fibroid's the problem. No, it's the conditions that's allowing the fibroids that allow the fibroids to develop and it allowed the fibroids to grow. That's the problem. The conditions in your body, that's the problem. The internal conditions that allow the fibroids to develop. It did not just go away. It did not just appear overnight. It did not just appear out of nowhere, okay? I had an open myomectomy. I had one that was 9 centimeters, scared it will grow back. You're in the right place. Because if you've had a surgery, you still have to do the work as if you still have the fibroid because you haven't got to the root cause of the problem. Okay, so hopefully you guys can understand what I'm saying. You're picking up what I'm putting down. If you develop a large fibroid, if you develop multiple fibroids, your body's prone to fibroids. Okay? You're not the only one. I developed fibroids not once but twice. But here's the thing. The last time I got to the root cause of the problems, I was able to shrink and dissolve that 8 centimeter fibroid because I got to the root of it. I didn't just, the first time I had the surgery, okay? First time I had the surgery, did not know what I knew. I knew now, they grew right back. That's what happens. When you have fibroids, you are estrogen dominant. You guys, have you ever, put a 1 in chat if you understand and know what that means. And that's not just your estrogen being out of balance. That's not just the sex hormones being out of balance. That is a series of hormones being out of balance. Okay? That's a series of hormones being out of balance. If you're watching this and saying, I'm having a myomectomy, I'm assuming you're not listening to anything I'm saying. But do what you want to do. Okay? Do what you want to do. Put a 1 in the chat if you're watching from YouTube or TikTok, if you understand what estrogen dominance means. Estrogen dominance is when a series of your hormones are out of balance. It's not just estrogen and progesterone, okay? So estrogen dominance is when it first starts. A lot of people just think about, oh, it's just my progesterone levels are low and my estrogen is high. That's not necessarily how it works. It's when the estrogen and progesterone are off balance, when the progesterone is extremely low and it's not enough progesterone in your body to balance out the estrogen levels. But when one hormone is out of balance, it causes a ripple effect in the body and it causes a series of your hormones to be out of balance, right? So it's important that you know and understand that, okay? So, hold on. Okay, listen. Let me say this. Let me do an announcement because we got a lot of people on here saying all types of things in the chat. TikTok is always wilding. Let me say this and say this way. If you're looking for quick solutions, get off my live right now. I don't care if I have one person on here. If you're looking for I'm not about quick solutions. And this is why you're not getting the results that you want because you're looking for quick tips and tricks and hacks. I'm talking about transformation and getting to the root cause of the problem. I'm not giving you quick tips and tricks. And you still have you still are estrogen dominant. You still are growing the fibroids right back. I'm not doing that. If you want to do that, have the surgery. Go ahead and have the surgery. Okay? So it's important. Like people, you just got here. Okay. There's some people acting crazy in the chat. I want you to log off if you are looking for you want to do the work. Thank you. The work is actually what's going to heal your body. It's going to help you get rid of fibroids and heal your body. Right? And so I only want to talk to people that want transformation, that know that, listen, I'm going to have to get to the root cause of the problem. I'm going to have to transform my lifestyle. I'm going to transform my diet. Not people that's looking for quick tips and tricks. I know this is TikTok. And TikTok, some of y'all been scrolling. You've been doing all the tips and tricks that TikTok has, that you've seen on TikTok about fibroids and still have the fibroids. So then what? Because you're not willing to get to the root cause of the problem, right? So that's important that you realize that. So anyway, okay. Elena, let me run my live stream, okay? You got one more time. Let me run my live stream, okay? I'm trying to be patient, but some of you guys are. I just got here 63 with fibroids. You're in the right place. Okay. So we're talking about how to prevent fibroids from coming back. Okay, change my diet, been good ever since. Good. Okay, my daughter will do the work. Okay, good. Okay. I'm sad to say, ladies, the fragrances in the fried food, that does contribute, but it's not the only thing. And I think that a lot of times we get stuck on a couple of things that causes fibroids. Like a lot of people are like, oh, hold on. Okay, people are just, okay. I'm gonna just start blocking muting accounts. Okay, so it's important that women understand that that you guys understand it's not just one or a couple of things. Oh, it's the meat and dairy. It's deeper than that. What about the stress? What about your lifestyle habits as a whole? So don't look at it. So it's not like a lot of people, us just want a simple solution. And unfortunately with fibroids, it's not. It's deeper. You have to go deeper. And this is, again, I get it, right? We just want to, a lot of people just want to take a supplement and have the fibroids go away, or they just want to, change one thing, the fibroids go away, but that's not how it works. I wish it was that simple, but it's not. You have to completely transform your lifestyle, okay? Stress alone makes them work. Absolutely. Absolutely. That's one of the huge contributors to fibroids. And a lot of times too, you may engage in habits that's putting your body in a state of stress and not even realize it. You may not be stressed per se, but you may be engaging in habits that's putting your body in a state of stress by the foods that you're eating, by your environment, by it's so many different things, by the toxic load in your body. Okay. So you have to be more aware of your lifestyle habits, how your body is responding to them. Like, you have to be more aware and awareness. A lot of times we're just doing things blindly and just, not really being aware of our body. There's a lack of connection to the body, right? So it's important. So we talked about getting the body out of a state of stress. That's important. I talked about stress, I think. Yeah. That's good. Thank you. I need to sign up for your masterclass. Yeah, the 5-day live course, we're having that this week. So literally, that's where for those of you that keep asking, how do you get rid of fibroids? I'm literally teaching that all week in my 5-day live course. Today was day 1. I taught them how to heal their hormones, okay, from the root cause. Tomorrow, we're talking about how to eat a womb healing diet, okay? So next, then we have a topic for every single day this week, but I'm teaching them how to get rid of fibroids this week, okay? And for those that it's not too late. For those that want to register, it's not too late, because we if you register today, you get the replay for day 1, and then tomorrow's day 2. You have the access to day 2, day 3. It's going to be on Zoom, by the way. Okay. So if you guys are interested in the 5-day live course, the link is in my bio. Okay. It's hard when you're single and taking care of everything yourself. That's stressful in itself. Trust me, I understand. And some women, and some women may say it's harder with children, or it's harder when they have a husband, right? Because they're then taking care of everybody else, or if they're a caregiver, right? So I get it. And in either one of those roles, you can still do this work, right? Even if you're taking care of everything yourself. As a matter of fact, in a way, it is harder when you're taking care of everything that yourself, but in another way, it actually makes the healing journey a lot easier as well, because you're not worried about all these other people, right? So that there's a pro and a con to it. All right, there's a pro and a con to it, but it's all about perception. But even it doesn't matter whether you're married, you're single, right? You have children, you can still do this work. I've worked with clients all walks of life, literally, right? Different ages, 20s, 30s, 40s, 50s, different religions, different lifestyles. Some married, single, living boyfriend. Like, it doesn't matter. It's children, some had no children. It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. You can still heal your body, right? You can still heal your body. So from all walks of life, right? Where can we find the link? For the 5-day live course, if you're watching from YouTube, the link is in my description box. It's the 5-day live course, Fix Your Fibroids in 2026. It's for women that want to get rid of their fibroids this year. Okay? They want to be fibroid free by 2026. That's what we're teaching. Okay? We're getting to the root. We're not just talking, I'm not just giving you remedies, I'm giving you transformation. Okay? Thank you for the gift. I appreciate it. Thank you, D. So if you want to join, it's $297. Okay? It's lifetime. You have lifetime access to the replays. And we also have a section. We have a section at the end of my live stream, at the end of the Zoom call, for Q&A as well, right? When I'm answering your questions more in depthly. I was gagged when my surgeon showed me the pics weighed 1,115 grams. How many pounds is that? That's crazy. Thank you for the gift, D. Thank you so much for the gift. Yeah. So yeah, the picture is it's a lot. The pictures are a lot. Okay. So another thing too, when you're dealing with fibroids, it's important to keep your hormones in balance. Let me say that, to prevent fibroids from growing back. You have to understand, if you've had surgery to get rid of your fibroids, or if you have fibroids right now, let's say you've had surgery and you haven't done the work to get to the root cause of the problem, your hormones are still out of balance. If you have fibroids, your hormones are out of balance. And a lot of people don't connect the two. This is why I say a lot of women that have fibroids are just focused on the fibroid. They're just focused on the fibroid, okay? They're not focused on their hormones. So if you, it's important that the first thing you should do when you have fibroids is get your hormones to be in balance. Really work on your hormonal health, because if your hormones are not in balance, your body cannot heal. Your body cannot get rid of a tumor. Your body is still in a state of distress, okay? So it's important, and you have to get to, and this I taught that in my amount. I taught that was our whole conversation today in my 5-day live course, okay? But you have to ask yourself what actually caused your hormones to become out of balance. That's number one. That's what I told them today too. And get to the root of the hormonal imbalance. So when you have a hormone imbalance, you have to get to you have to focus on the foundational hormones first. Because before we focus on the sex hormones, what caused the sex hormones to become out of balance? Those foundational hormones, the cortisol and insulin, those became dysregulated. I talked about stress, right? The body being in a state of stress. So it's important that you know. That's good. They put me on bioidentical hormones and they made me bleed more. Thank you for sharing that, Dinessa. And I always say this too, avoid fake hormones at all costs, especially if you have fibroids. Avoid fake hormones because they're fake. I don't care, bioidentical or not. Those are synthetic hormones. Your body doesn't recognize that as your own natural hormones. So you want to avoid that at all costs. Okay? You want to balance your natural hormones. Your body is very capable of producing the right amount of each hormone if your organs and glands are healthy. So if they're not healthy, your body won't produce the right amount of each hormone. What's fake hormones? So anything that you're taking that has hormones into it, that's supposed to balance your hormones, birth control, HRTs, this one is controversial, but it's the truth, IVF. I'm sorry. I'm currently 32 weeks pregnant with a large fibroid causing, oh my goodness, I'm so sorry. Yikes, and you are far along. And can you inbox me? Inbox me, okay? Inbox me. Champagne. Is it up a fibroid because of, hold on, I'm not understanding what you're saying. Is it up a fibroid because of golf? I'm not understanding. Can you rewrite that? I left the hospital after being admitted for 3 days. Okay, please. I can't understand what you're saying. Make sure you proofread before you press send. What country are you in? I'm currently in the US, but I'm right now. Okay, let's just say that. But it doesn't matter. I work with women all over the world. I have a client right now in Australia, so it doesn't matter. Would you get it surgically removed? No. And I mentioned that earlier because it doesn't make any sense because they will grow back when you don't get to the root cause of the problem. I work Monday through Friday. How do I get the recordings? So if you work Monday through Friday, I send the recordings every night via email. So if you sign up to right now, I will send you the recording from day one because we already had day one, and then you will get the Zoom link for day 2 in the morning, but you'll get the replays each night when you register. So you don't have to worry about that. Okay. And also along with the day one's replay as well. For those that are, and she's asking about the 5-day live course at 6:00 p.m. Eastern Standard Time every single night. We went about an hour and a half today. So, does great question, Kayla. Does adenomyosis have a similar root cause as fibroids? Yes. Estrogen dominance. It does. It does. Let me explain something. That was a great question. You can have 5 women that are dealing with estrogen dominance. By clicking the link in my bio, you'll see 5-day live course, Fix Fibroids in 2026, and you can register for the 5-day live course. That's for women that want to shrink and dissolve their fibroids. That's what I'm teaching women all week, okay? So, you can have 5 women that are estrogen dominant, that are dealing with estrogen dominance. One can have fibroids. One can have adenomyosis. The other can be endometriosis. The other can be cysts. The other can be PCOS. This is why, hey Ro, welcome. This is why you typically, when women have fibroids, it's a lot of times, sometimes it's not just fibroids, it's fibroids and cysts, or fibroids and adenomyosis, or fibroids and endometriosis, because if you have one estrogen dominant condition, you can easily get another one. Like this is why this is why it's important to balance the hormones. So you may be more predisposed to fibroids, Maybe we be more predisposed to adenomyosis, right? So it just depends, right? So hopefully I answer your question, Kayla. Can people with fibroids get pregnant? You can, but I wouldn't recommend it. I would recommend shrinking and dissolving your fibroids first. Because here's the thing, and we just had somebody make a comment about that. Your body's not in a healthy state when you have fibroids. Your body is not in a healthy state when you have fibroids. Let me see. Fibroids is a full body issue. So when you have fibroids, not only your hormones out of balance, there's so many different things that's going on in your body. There's a lot of congestion going on in the body. The lymphatic system is backed up. The gut is backed up. It's not a healthy space for a baby. Now, if you're already pregnant with fibroids, right? Don't panic. There's still things that you can do. You don't want to be, it has to be a more modified plan, because of course you can't be too aggressive when you're carrying life or when you're breastfeeding. So it has to be modified. So I always modify things for my pregnant clients and my clients that are breastfeeding. I have to, right? They can't do the same thing somebody that's not pregnant and not breastfeeding can do. So hopefully, I say for the ones that want to get pregnant, take about 3 to 6 months to heal your body first before getting pregnant with fibroids, so that baby can have a safe space to land, so that the baby don't have to be in there with fibroids. Okay, and it does make it higher risk, and it's so many. Don't get me started. Okay, how can you get rid of fibroids? We're teaching that in my 5-day live course this week, Daisy. But by getting to the root cause of the problem, even if they're calcified, yes. And let me just say this: when they're calcified, and this is when fibroids harden. This tends to be the woman that's had fibroids for a while. And the fibroids act sort of like scar tissue in a sense. They harden. It's a bit more complex. The problem is more complex. But the fibroids can still shrink and dissolve, okay? I randomly went for a pelvic exam and I was told that I had tiny fibroids. Can I shrink them? Yeah, and if they're tiny, whether they're tiny or not, you can shrink and dissolve them. Let's not settle for shrinking. Let's actually dissolve these fibroids. Yes, they have to shrink first, but let's actually dissolve the fibroids so that we can be fibroid free, okay? That should be, I want us to step up when it comes to that, because I always hear shrink my fibroids, shrink my fibroids, shrink my fibroids. Right. Yeah, that's all good and well, but we actually want eventually to dissolve them, to eliminate them, okay? So I get pregnant with fibroids at 40. I had a fibroid growing with my son. It was high risk, but it's scary. Yeah, I've heard so many women tell me stories about being pregnant with fibroids. It's painful, it's scary, it's just, that's why I always say women that are not, if you have fibroids, give yourself some time before trying to conceive. Start healing the body first, right? Yeah, get your body healthy first, okay? Hold on. Also too, let me say this too, because this is important. Because I talked about stress, because stress definitely equates to fibroids. It's one of the biggest contributor of fibroids. So you want to also I talk about keeping your hormones in balance, because when you have fibroids, your hormones are out of balance. So in order to prevent fibroids from regrowing, keeping your body in balance, and your body will always tell you when it's out of balance. Through your periods. We're so lucky as women to have a 5th vital sign. Through your periods, through how you feel, your energy levels, through your sleep, like whether you're able to sleep well or not. Like, it's so many things, through your gut health, right? How your body is digesting food. So it's so many things, it's so many ways your body will show you through your skin, like that your body is in a good state, your body is in a healthy state, your hormones are in balance, right? Through your ovulation, are you ovulating? So it's important too. Another thing too, preventing fibroids from growing back, one really important thing is really addressing the emotional trauma you're facing, that you're holding on to, or that you're suppressing. This is an important key factor, because your body can't differentiate between emotional stress and physical stress. And a lot of us are holding on to things. The body keeps score, but guess what? The womb also keeps score. And the womb is not just a physical organ, it's also an energetic organ as well. So when you're holding on to a lot of pain and turmoil, okay, shame, childhood trauma, heartbreaks, you know, divorces, these, and you're holding on to them and you haven't addressed them. You haven't addressed these traumas. You haven't really worked them out. You've suppressed them and just kept going. That's creating fibroids. These fibroids are not just physical blockages, they're also emotional. Okay? Everything that you try to suppress, everything that you bury, everything that you try to swallow, and everything that you've held in, they create tumors. Okay? So this has to be addressed. So for those of you that's had surgery, you still going back to the same lifestyle, you can forget that those fibroids will grow back. And sometimes it won't even be the fibroids, right? Because somebody told me they had surgery to get rid of fibroids. They actually ended up developing a fibroid too, but they also developed endometriosis. This is when they came to work with me. So it may be fibroid, then it's endo, right? Then it's but because the root cause was never addressed. When a root cause of a problem is not addressed, it will reappear or it will manifest into something else. Okay, so it's important that you realize it could be fibroids, and then if your body's still in the estrogen dominant state, it could be an autoimmune disorder. It could be, God forbid, like, you know, an estrogen dominant cancer. I told you guys the fibroid to cancer pipeline is real. Okay, it's very real. I'm not saying everybody that has fibroids will develop cancer. I'm not saying that, but I'm saying that the risk is higher. Okay, I lost my younger brother in 2019. I'm so sorry, Mario. I'm so sorry. Could that be the reason I got a fibroid? If we've held that grief in, a lot of women have developed fibroids after loss. Yeah, I'm so sorry that you dealt with that. So it's important that you realize the emotional hurts and pains that we've held on to, that we haven't addressed, is still there. It doesn't go away. Okay, it stays in the body, and especially that womb. And this is why, another reason why I talk about all the time how the womb is a sacred organ. And this is why I'm so against you taking your womb out, hysterectomies. Because, by the way, that's not a cure, right? You're still estrogen dominant. You still are dealing with toxins in the body. You still have the root causes there. It's just with no womb. But this is another reason why I think that hysterectomies, especially in the U.S., are pushed so much. Okay, that's a whole other conversation, right? And also, too, we have to ask ourselves what they're actually doing with those uteruses. But anyway, that they're all taken out, what they're really doing with them. Okay. Okay. So yeah. And there's nothing they want more than a Black woman's uterus. Let me just say that. I'm not saying they do this to other races of women too, but they love to put. I noticed that for a Black woman, they push more for that hysterectomy. Don't fall into the trap. Heal your body. Heal your womb. Don't fall into that trap. Okay. So, you have to stop being reactive with your health. You cannot wait until you develop a fibroid to care about your health. I'm saying this with love, right? So next time this won't happen, right? It shouldn't take a tumor before you actually start caring about your health. Because again, like I said earlier, your body was showing you signs. Your body was showing you signs. You just didn't before the fibroid developed. Okay. I'm so sorry, Miss D. I'm so sorry for your losses. Your body was showing you signs before the fibroid developed. Okay. Whether it was through your period, whether it was through your gut health. Some of you guys may have had IBS. It's like, you know, different things, the pain, right? The different things. Your body speaks to you through symptoms. You have to learn the language of your body, right? You got to learn the language of your body. You can no longer ignore it, okay? My 27-year-old daughter just was told she has 7 fibroids and surgery was suggested. I'm so sorry. 27 is so young. And I dealt with fibroids when I was in my early 20s. So it's like it's very painful at that age, because it's like, why am I dealing with this at this age? Um, but I'm gonna say she should not have surgery because it will grow back. She should change her lifestyle, change her, get to the root cause of the problem. I had gut health since I was a kid and didn't realize it. I'm so sorry. Yeah, and she has no kids, and I told her the same thing. Yeah, don't have surgery. Women are developing uterine scarring from these surgeries, from these uterine surgeries. They do not come without consequence, y'all. I've had clients come to me with uterine scarring adhesions due to past uterine surgeries. One had 2 uterine surgeries, the other was just 1 myomectomy. So you got to be careful with these surgeries. These surgeries are not like, I know they make it seem like, oh, you're gonna, once you had the surgery, you don't have to worry about fibroids anymore and everything, your life will be perfect. That's not how it works, because you're not getting to you still have what causes the fibroids is still the case. You still have that there. So what does that mean? You still are hormonally imbalanced. You're still dealing with toxins in the body. You're still dealing with an overloaded digestive system. You're still dealing with all of these things in your body, right? Fibroids is a full body issue. It's not a uterine issue, okay? So it's important that you realize. So you have to be willing to, if you've already had surgery or you have personally had fibroids, you have to be willing to change your lifestyle. You have to be willing. And if you're like, what do I do? We literally are having a 5-day live course this week. Well, I'm literally highlighting you, breaking it down. And I said earlier that I'm not the type of person that's going to give you hacks, because they don't work. They're temporary relief. Right? I say all the time, it's the food. That's just one of the things. Yeah, but that's the huge one as well. Absolutely. If your body's in a state of stress, of course, food is going to contribute to that. Like processed foods, sugar, all of this. Absolutely. Absolutely. So it's important that you got to change your diet and lifestyle. Okay? You got to be willing to change, and your life will look differently. Your life should look different now than when you actually develop the fibroid. If not, you're not doing it right. Even the thoughts that you think, your mindset, everything should be different. Right? When I work with my clients, totally, like I love to see the process of when they first start working with me to at the end, totally different. Their lifestyle, their mindset, how they approach food, like everything is different. How they approach stress, everything is different. Right? Even their emotional wellness, because we're bringing things to the surface and actually dealing with things and processing them and releasing them. Okay, so that's important. So for those that are interested in working with me or learning more, I do have my 2-month intensive that is happening inside of my Detoxify Your Womb program. I have my 2-month intensive. It starts March 1st. Well, let's say March 2nd, because that's a Monday. March 2nd through May 2nd. This is for women that are working with me one-on-one and are serious about getting rid of fibroids. I only work with women that are serious about doing the work. I will guide you through it, but I work with women that are serious, okay? I've been doing this for years. In case you guys don't know, some of you guys are new. You guys haven't seen our testimonials and what we've been able to do for women. I don't even just only help women in the US. I also have clients in Australia. I've had clients in the Netherlands, UK, Kenya, Caribbean, Canada. So we're literally, I would say, worldwide, global. Okay. This is a global issue, unfortunately. Okay. So if you're like, listen, I want to work with you, I need one-on-one help, I need one-on-one guidance, I want to collapse time and get amazing results. Because our clients that's working for 2 months, oh my God, the results are tremendous. If you want to know more information about our 2-month intensive, be sure to click the link in my bio. You'll see the 2-month intensive, and we're starting March 2nd. If you want more information about our 2-month intensive, if you're watching from YouTube, be sure to click the link is in my description box. Also, be sure that you guys are subscribed to our YouTube channel, that you are subscribed to our email list as well. Because when you subscribe to our email list, you get 7 days of fibroid healing truths. Okay? And that's gonna break down for you so you can understand what's going on with your body. I got surgery in January. I want to do better, and I have somewhat. I'm not doing it right, but I'll try. Okay, no problem. How can I be your student? So the 2-month intensive, okay? The 2-month intensive. The link is in my bio. Our daughter has them for a few years. Unfortunately, it seems like there's a lot of, oh my goodness, it's a lot of like moms on here that their daughters have fibroids. I'm so sorry about that. They run my family. Okay, so let me say this. Let me say this. Let me say this, ladies. I know you've been told by your doctor they're genetic. Okay? And some of you guys, that's all you've been told about. That's all you've been told by your doctor as far as fibroids. Oh, you know, they're genetic, you know. And when we say it like that, it makes it feel as though they're out of our control. Is there a genetic component to fibroids? Yeah, you can be more predisposed to fibroids. However, you can be more predisposed to high blood pressure. That does not mean that you have to develop high blood pressure. What is the lifestyle that you're living? If you're living the same lifestyle as your family members that have health problems, of course, we tend to follow the habits of our family members, you know, when we're not aware, right? So you got to, when you do the work, when you heal your body, the genetic piece of that, it doesn't matter. You can break the curse of the genetic, the womb, the fibroid curse in your family. You can break that curse. But if you do the work, that means your children will be fibroid free. Your children's children will be fibroid free, right? So somebody has to break the curse and heal their body, right? Because if we continue procreating, being estrogen dominant, being out of balance, passing toxins around onto our children, that's what we're doing. Passing toxins around onto our children. So I hate to say it. And we can't beat ourselves up for what we don't know. But if we know better, we have to do better. Okay? Yep, also told our daughter should not be in pain for fibroids. Exactly. Should not have fibroids at all. Doesn't matter if it runs in family or not. So that means we have to do the work to heal. We got to do the work to heal. We got to do the work to heal. Okay? That's important. Y'all, I've been on here for almost an hour. If you're just coming on or you didn't watch the whole thing, be sure to subscribe to our YouTube channel. The live stream will be on YouTube. Anybody have any questions before we go? Again, if you want to learn how to get rid of fibroids, I'm literally teaching this week how to shrink and dissolve fibroids. I'm not doing this class again, y'all. Let me just make this 5-day live class, because I typically working with people more so in my cohorts, like more one-on-one. But I'm doing a 5-day live course on Zoom this week with a group of ladies, teaching them how to shrink and dissolve their fibroids. And they have access to replay. Today was day 1, but if you register today, you'll get access to the replay from day 1, and then you'll get access to the Zoom link for each of the other days, right? And if you can't make it, you will have access to the replay. Everybody that registers will have the replays. The class is $297 for a lifetime worth of information. This is a class you can revisit next year, 5 years from now, still apply the information and get the results, okay? As a matter of fact, there was a woman that took this class last year that went from 4 fibroids to 1 fibroid, and that fibroid is less than 2 centimeters. She said she went from bleeding, she used to bleed from 10 to 12 days a week. 10 to 12 days every month, to now I think she said less than 7. Okay. What daily herbs do you recommend for women? There's so many different herbs, like herbs for what exactly? And I don't really like just putting herbs out there, because herbs on their own, herbs are great, but on their own, they're not going to get rid of fibroids. And a lot of us think that herbs work like medication, or we want herbs to work like a medication or something, right? So if you say herbs for anemia, then I can give you some recommendations, okay? But herbs for what exactly? Let me know. All right. Any other questions before we go? Any questions before we go? If you want to join me in the 5-day live course, Fix Fibroids in 2026, the link is in my description box if you're watching from YouTube. The link is in my bio if you're watching from TikTok. And if you want to work with me in our 2-month intensive, if you like, look, I need to actually work with you, I need to have guidance throughout this journey, right? Then the 2-month intensive, if you want to work directly with me to guarantee results. Because if you're working with me, you better get results. You get results, okay? As long as you follow, doing what I say, okay? And I can individually work with you and get to know you on an individual basis so I can understand what's really going on. That's the best way I like to work with people. All right, but I'm doing this 5-day life course so more people can have access to it. So don't take advantage of it, because the 5-day life course, once it's gone, it's gone. All right. I just missed the entire thing. We had the replay on YouTube. Be sure to click the link in my bio and subscribe to the YouTube channel. Go to the live section. You'll see the whole replay. Overall, uterine health, nothing's wrong, but just something that's good for you as a woman. Okay. I don't know. I can't. Overall uterine health, I would say focus more so on lifestyle and diet if you want overall good uterine health. Okay, on its own. Okay. I can't just give you herbs if you tell me sea moss. Overall, just health in general, like it helps remove mucus from the body. Sea moss. Okay, if you just want something standard that you take every day, that's that you have no issues. All right, that's pretty much it. And make sure it's real authentic sea moss. There's a lot of fakes out here. Okay, a lot of fakes out here. After the pandemic, I'm not supposed to say that word, but after the pandemic, a lot of people just came out of the blue with sea moss, and it wasn't original from, it wasn't the original stuff. It wasn't, you could tell the difference, but there's ways to tell the difference if it's real, if it's fake. If it's any type of, let me tell you, flavored sea moss is fake. Flavored sea moss is fake off the bat. Okay. So let me just, so I'll end with that. I don't see any more questions. So you guys have a great rest of your night. I got to prepare for day 2 tomorrow in the 5-day life course. Okay. Have a good one. Bye, TikTok. Bye, YouTube.